Welcome to my Pho703 Surfaces and Strategies assignment. This is a Pecha presentation and I'm Paul Moran doing an MA in Photography at Falmouth University. My project is on Reading in Berkshire in the UK and this will focus on my progress so far. My project is titled The Wrong Side of the River. Reading is divided in two by the River Thames. If you live north of the river, your house is going to be valued on average 4 times that of a house south of the river. You're also likely to live longer, in fact 9.4 years longer. This house, north of the river, has a helicopter pad, an indoor and an outdoor swimming pool, and until a couple of years ago belonged to a BBC television personality. Reading has the 4th best qualified workforce in the UK, over 150 languages are spoken, and it's home to 13 of the world's top brands. Martin Parr said, "The fundamental thing I'm exploring is the difference between the mythology of the place and the reality of it. Whilst Reading can tell you a success story, there are also a plethora of statistics that will tell you it has enormous social problems, deprivation, and poverty." The charity End Child Poverty reports 8,679 children live in poverty in Reading. That's 27.3% of all Reading's children. The city's Outlook report for the UK's largest city economies also says Reading is the 4th least equal city in the UK. South of the river, one can find many houses such as this one that have been converted into multi-occupancy flats. This 3-bedroomed house has been converted into 6 flats and currently houses at least 10 people, and they all share 1 bathroom between them. The area south of the river has a crime rate that is over double the UK national average. There are social problems, poverty, homelessness, alcohol problems, education problems, and a wealth of other social issues. These are the issues I want to highlight in my project. This picture is by Martin Parr, and he's one of the people who greatly influenced my thinking and my picture taking. I think what he does with cities and focusing on the details and the people involved is exactly the way I would like to capture Reading. Respectful, at a distance, but at the same time showing what's really there. Many of the problems in this area stem from the high density housing, the high unemployment, the lack of prospects, the low wages, the poor performing schools, the poor provision of healthcare and dentistry. In addition, over 40% of the people do not have English as their first language. Another one of my influences is Dougie Wallace, and I've been looking very closely at his work lately. His project on the East End has been particularly enlightening, as well as the work he has done on Harrodsburg, where he looks at both the well-to-do and the not-so-well-off who surround that store. I've also been looking at the work of Jessica Craig Martin, and what I find interesting about her work is that she somehow seems to bridge the gap between the way Martin Parr looks at social situations and the way Dougie Wallace looks at it. This picture you can see is very similar to Dougie Wallace's work on Harrodsburg. This is the Afrikaans shop on the Oxford Road in Reading. It caters for a local population that require specialist foods and goods from all across the African continent. There are many shops like this, but all of them are south of the river. Further along Oxford Road is Michael. He's lived there for a number of months. He's an ex-serviceman, he's been to prison, and he's registered disabled. His employment prospects are very low, and he's happy to live with the sofa, which has been in front of his house now for over 4 months. This is Yasin. Yasin finished school last year, and he's held down a number of jobs. He has few qualifications, and his prospects are not very bright. He does, however, love the area that he's in and has no wish to move anywhere, no matter what that would mean for his employment. This picture by Tina Barney is of the art dealer Leo Castelli and his daughter, and is one I'd like to replicate. On the wall is Stan's portrait of Leo, there's a Roy Lichtenstein sculpture, and there's a Frank Stello rug. However, on approaching the people living north of the Thames, not one of them would take me up on the offer. When I started the project, I had in mind that I would complete works along the lines of Ugo Galenkos. He's a Turkish photographer who has taken other photographers' pictures from children in the Middle East and children in the West, and he juxtaposes these to show the differences in life for those kids. However, my own attempts to copy the work of Ugo Galenkos has not met with the same success. The juxtaposition of the two shops, one in bad need of maintenance and the other fully polished and cleaned, has not really worked in the same way as Galenkos' work. So I have decided to produce a book of my Reading pictures, and this will be titled The Wrong Side of the River. This is a picture by Paul Strand, who since the start of the MA and his straight photography school has been one of the biggest influences on my work. This picture taken in the Outer Hebrides in 1954. And this is another picture by Paul Strand. This was published in his book La France de Profil and is actually the cover picture. He produced the book with Claude Roy, and it remains for me one of the best photography books I've ever purchased. It shows his respect, his love for the area, but at the same time records it in harsh detail. Thank you for listening to my presentation. The book I aim to produce will include not just photographs, but also poems, recipes, and anecdotes about the area south of the Thames. Goodbye.